Hello, I'm the Hood Trucker. This is the Hood Trucker News. Here's the topic. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe. Don't forget to hit the description to learn how you can join the membership. It could be in the join button below. Uh, Either way, however you want to do it, please support the channel. We'd appreciate it. Now, Trump supporters claim that the reason they support him is because his economy was the best ever. That's a lie. Guess what? The numbers are better than ever. So there goes that excuse that you use to support Donald Trump because the economy was better. Mm-mm. Economy's better now. Now, again, let's make this clear. I'm not a Biden supporter. However, I give credit where credit is due because at the Hood Trucker News, we call balls and strikes. We're not necessarily biased. I'm biased because I don't like Trump's rhetoric. And, I don't particularly think that you deserve my support if you're grabbing women by the coochie. I mean, I just can't get past that. Just same way I can't get past R. Kelly and his antics, and that's why I don't listen to his music no more. It's the same way that, listen, I feel like if you are pursuing the coochie, that two things shouldn't happen. One, you shouldn't be forking over no money for it. And two, you shouldn't take it. So as long as you abiding by those two rules, you can do whatever you want to do. Listen, if you're disrespectful and a woman is accepting of your disrespect, listen, that's between you and her. But again, you shouldn't be paying for it. And I don't mean paying for it like going to dinner, because I don't believe that's, listen, I take a woman to dinner and I pay for it. But that, which, nowadays is like a thing or something, like you shouldn't do that. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of old school. So listen, if I'm going to go somewhere to eat, I'm going to eat where I like to eat, and I'm going to invite you to join me. If you accept, it's on me. And there's no obligation, right? There's no obligation. If I take you to dinner, like I've seen stuff where people go and they, like I seen one where a dude flew the woman in. And then because she didn't give up no coochie, you mad. Listen, that was your choice to do that. You didn't have to do that. And just because you do that don't mean nothing. I mean, I'm old school. Look, I take you to dinner and you don't give up no coochie. I'm gonna make sure you get home, and I'm gonna make sure you get inside the door and all of that, because I'm gonna make sure that well, I mean, it could have went well. I mean, if it didn't go well, then I'm gonna make sure I never call you again. But if usually if it goes well, it goes really well, right? And then whatever. But sometimes, it takes a little longer, whatever. Who cares, right? It's not that serious to me. Like, I don't need to disrespect you because if I took you to dinner and you didn't give me none or whatever the case, I need to disrespect you. Look, even if we don't get along, or I'm gonna eat my dinner and I'm gonna take you home, or we gonna meet there or whatever the case, and I'm gonna be perfectly fine. Because guess what? They make coochie every day, right? So your coochie ain't the last one they ever made, so I ain't gotta act like it's the last one ever made. There's more out there, right? So it is what it is. That's my opinion. But so, like, so look, if you are a billionaire and you claim to be, this or that, like, why do you have to do that anyway? Like, why is that even like, okay, people said it's locker room talk. I ain't never been in no locker room in all my years of playing football where anybody has ever spoke like that. Like, you gotta grab it, like you grabbing coochie. Like, to me, that's cowardly, right? And where I come from, like being a player, is you gonna speak up on it. Like you gonna speak up. We should call it. We gonna speak up on the panties, right? So what you gonna do is you gonna talk her out of the panties. You're not gonna grab her crazy and all. No, we don't do that, right? So I just feel like if you gotta pay for it, that's cheating, and if you gotta take it, that's cheating. If you gotta grab on something that should be grabbed on, number one, that's real. I don't know any decent female that's gonna allow you to just grab on her and then think it's cool. Now, because he got money, I mean, women act different, with people with money. But listen, just because of that, I mean, there's no way I'm gonna support you. Just because you talking about grabbing women by the coochie, I don't support people like that, right? Because you're weird. And if you gotta just grab, they say they'll let you grab it. Let you grab it. That means you doing something you know you ain't supposed to be doing. They let you do it. But that's also why you got to pay that woman $83.3 million on this case, and then another $5 million on another case because you want to be grabbing stuff. It got you on tape. Trump supporters, they got him on tape saying that's what he do. And then you surprised and say it's some kind of conspiracy or some kind of political something because he got to pay a woman because the woman said he grabbed her in inappropriate ways to the point, and then he denied it, and now he got to pay 83.3 and another 5 on another. Okay, and it ain't like he don't lie, right? Because fraud is a derivative of lying, because that's why it's fraud, because it's not true. Because fraud means it's not true. Fraud is what he's being prosecuted about now, civil, in New York. He's gonna have to pay 370 some million. And as of this video, there's nothing about what the verdict is, but it's coming soon. And he's already been found guilty. It's just a matter of how much he's gonna have to pay. Right? So that's agreed already. So, but people political. Yeah. He said he'd do it. He gotta pay for it now for doing it. E. Jean Carroll. And his lawyer, who used to help him do the fraud and cook up the books, says that's what he did. Why is he saying that's what he did? Because he did all this stuff for him and then didn't want to pay his bills, and then you think he's not going. Of course he's going to snitch. Of course he's going to snitch. He didn't pay his legal fees, and he did all that, got him all caught up. This dude had to go do some time for paying the woman on his behalf. He ain't did nothing. They're talking about his two tiers of justice. Yeah, it's 2 tiers of justice, all right. but he getting the good end, not the bad end. Anyway, back to the economy. Yeah, y'all talking about I vote for Trump because the economy was the greatest. No. As we gonna find out right now. We gonna listen to Chris Hayes of MSNBC, and you can say, "Oh, I don't believe nothing." Okay, well you can look at all these numbers up on Google. I did it. You can look all these numbers up on Google if you think he's lying. Now, what he's gonna do is he gonna, it's a left-leaning show, network, all of that. They gonna tell the truth about the stuff they need to tell the truth about. They go like if Biden does something crazy, they gonna act like Fox News and not report it. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I believe everything come out their mouth, but whatever does come out their mouth, I'm gonna go research it, and then if it comes out to be true, I'm gonna use what they say, and that's exactly what happened. So let's listen. And if you hear it crackling in the background, it's raining. All right. So let's listen. Let's listen. Be woke.
Good evening from New York. I'm Chris Hayes. It is 2024 and the American economy is back, baby. You don't have to take my word for it.
Yes.
As we've been covering for months on this show, there has been and is a gap, lingering gap between the way the economy is actually performing based on every metric we have, which is incredibly well,
yes,
and the way voters say they feel about the economy, which has been quite pessimistic.
Yes.
And every day brings some new bit of data that demonstrates that the American economy is roaring. Today, it is this chart, what you might call the GDP Olympics. Of all of the most developed economies on Earth, which one do you think is growing the fastest? Well, it's Joe Biden's.
Okay, he said out of all economies, whatever he just said, all economies that they measuring, the United States has got the best. And guess what? He not lying.
It is this chart, which you might call the GDP Olympics.
Yes.
Of all of the most developed economies on Earth, which one do you think is growing the fastest? Well, it's Joe Biden's United States.
Yes.
By a lot.
Yes.
That big green bar at the top is our GDP here in the good old US of A. Do you see how much bigger it is than all the others?
Yes.
The US is literally the best economy in the world. Last year, our economy grew much faster than Japan, the second best economy, more than double the rate of Canada and a distant third. Not only that, but we are projected to blow the competition out of the water again this year.
Oh, really? We're the best economy in the world, huh? Out of the GDP Olympics, huh? We're the best ones, huh? What? What happened to all that? Oh, the economy, okay, now you going, okay, if you were supporting Donald Trump for the economy, you going to be a Joe Biden supporter now? Huh? Because it's about the economy, right? But what they're going to explain here, they're going to show you why you don't really hear about all this on Fox News. They don't want you to know about this. Fox News ain't your friend. Newsmax ain't your friend. And neither is NBC for that matter. But when I want to go and find out some good about Republicans, I go to Fox News. If I want to find out the bad, I go to MSNBC and vice versa. Because they're always going to report the worst. But if you're a consumer and if you are a somebody who wants to find out what's really going on, go to the opposite. If you want to find the bad, go to the opposite. If you want to find the good, go to where they report the good. This is good news. It should be good news to everyone. But for some strange reason, the people that say that they support Donald Trump for the economy are going to be like this la, 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 when it comes to this right here. Interesting. Watch.
And this is just one data point among many. Wages in real terms, real wages, the amount of actual purchasing power are rising. Inflation, by some measures, is falling below the Fed's target. With an anticipation they may start cutting interest rates.
Oh, they may start cutting interest rates because the economy is too good to have high interest rates. Is that right? High interest rates was based upon giving out all that money for PPP loans and injecting all that money into the economy because it was screwed up for a while. Then when you put all that money in there, inflation goes up. Interesting how that works, right? So the inflation goes up. You drive up the interest rates to bring the inflation down. And what do you know? The inflation's coming down. So much so they're gonna start dropping the interest rates. Oh, isn't that interesting how it works?
Investment in manufacturing has now set record highs.
Wait a minute. Record highs? That would mean that manufacturing is better now than when Trump was in office. If there's record, he didn't say tie. They didn't say tie a record. He said set a record. That means that better than Trump.
New business formation, that's people making small businesses, has set record highs.
Set record highs. And you could go Google all of this. You don't believe me or him or whoever this is or whatever? Go look at it. You can even go to Fox News probably. I mean, because you can't argue the numbers. You can't lie about them. You can. I guess you could probably lie about numbers, but Fox News report this. They put a screwed up spin on it. Oh, they have to, because they know that you don't want to hear it. They want you to hear them, but they don't want you to hear the good news, because you're not going to like good news because you want to be a Trump supporter. That's what I said. All this is fake. fake support. I'm supporting Trump for his misogyny, his racism, his all of that. But under the guise of the economy. Well, you can't use that excuse no more because it's better now than it's ever been.
Household wealth has set a record high.
Huh?
Today,
so if you're setting record highs, that means that it's better now than when Trump was in office, correct? If you're setting record highs, go Google it.
Amid all this good news, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell got just about as enthusiastic as it is possible for a central banker like him when discussing the state of the U.S. economy.
Yes.
If you've recently been in an accident that wasn't your fault,
oh, that's a commercial.
Hold off on signing.
I forgot to pay my premium bill.
I'm about to cash
oh, stop it. Get out of here.
check and get my entire car loan paid off.
Oh, get out of here. Okay. There we go.
The labor market, 3.7% unemployment, indicates that the labor market is strong. We've had just about 2 years now of unemployment under 4%. That hasn't happened in 50 years. So
wait a minute. What did he say? Well, this the Fed chair. This the Fed chair said that we've had 4% unemployment for 2 straight years. That hasn't happened in 50 years. Trump wasn't the president 50 years ago. So you can no longer say that Trump's economy was a better economy than Biden because we got 2 straight years of 4% or lower in unemployment. It's never happened in 50 years. Let's run that back.
Just about 2 years now of unemployment under 4%. That hasn't happened in 50 years. So it's a good
hold on
labor market. And just
about
about 2 years now of unemployment under 4%. That hasn't happened in 50 years. So it's a good labor market. And we've seen inflation come down. We talked about that. So we've got 6 months of good inflation data and an expectation that there's more to come. So this is a good situation. Let's be honest.
He said, let's be honest, it's a good situation, right? You got under 4%, hasn't happened in 50 years. Trump was president within those 50 years. That means it didn't happen under his watch. Where is it happening? Under Joe Biden's watch. 50 years. Where's all that economy talk? Oh, it's the better economy. Joe Biden ain't happened in 50 years. 2 straight years of 4% ain't happening in 50 years. Fed chairman said that.
This is a good economy. Just to be clear, for a Fed chair, that's the equivalent of stripping off your clothes and twerking for 3 minutes straight. Okay, that's like no one does that. All right. The last 3 years of the Biden administration has essentially, get this, put us back on track economically in a better spot than if COVID hadn't happened.
Yes.
I'll say that again. Okay.
I've heard this already. What he's gonna explain, and let me preface the explanation with this. He's gonna the main thing that people say, well, of course, because we came out of COVID and all this other stuff, right? What he's gonna say is he's gonna show how the pandemic didn't have nothing to do with these numbers. They're gonna take the pandemic out and show you how these numbers, even without the pandemic, or with or without the pandemic, they're still better.
Smart guy.
Oh, hold on. I gotta take this call. Let's see. How do I put it on? Put you on mute real quick. We gotta take this call.
The White House noted a few weeks ago.
It's all right to take that. Oh my God, that was an important call, but okay, we're back at it now.
The level of U.S. real GDP in 2023 even exceeded some pre-pandemic forecasts, including that of the Congressional Budget Office and the IMF. That's right. The economy did better last year than the economic projections showed before the pandemic, before COVID, when nobody knew there would be this cataclysmic event and recession in 2020.
Yes.
Back in 2019, the Congressional Budget Office, for example, thought GDP would grow by an average of 1.7% in 2023. Again, looking out into the future, not knowing there's going to be a pandemic. It actually grew at 2.5%. Speaking of the pandemic, Trump and his supporters often argue it's unfair to compare Biden's economy to Trump's, since, again, COVID tanked the world economy in 2020.
Yes.
But here's the thing. Listen to this, okay? If you ignore 2020, Joe Biden was not president, Donald Trump was, but let's just throw it out, okay? If you ignore 2020, the economy under Biden is still doing better than Trump's was. Take away COVID, give him a mulligan. As the Washington Monthly notes, quote, under Biden from January 2022 to December 2023, employment grew at an average annual rate of 2.4% compared to a 1.5% rate under Trump from January 2017 to February 2020.
Interesting how the Biden economy growth is like a whole percentage point better than Donald Trump. Interesting. So all you Donald Trump supporters who claim to support Donald Trump because of the economy, scratch that. Now you have to be a Joe Biden supporter because the economy's better.
So again, if you bend over backwards to give Donald Trump the most favorable comparison possible, where you completely take him off the hook for the economy tanking under his watch when he was president due to COVID.
And it did tank under his watch. He did do a lot of crazy stuff during that time, and he should have done some stuff that he didn't do, and he didn't do some stuff he should have did. So.
And you ignore the first year of the Biden presidency when they had the huge boom as the world reopened. Take that all off the board. Joe Biden's economy is still whooping Trump's butt.
Yes.
The
question becomes, are you going to now support Joe Biden because his economy is better? Since all you people who talking this crazy nonsense about how the Trump economy was so much greater, now there's real numbers that prove that that's not true. But y'all steadily talking about the economy. I just had a couple of conversations in the comments about people said, well, his economy is this, is that, the money, blah, blah, blah. Listen, you have no longer have their excuse no more. So does that mean that you supported him because he was because you supposedly had a better economy, that you now going to support Joe Biden because he has a better economy?
If the economy is doing so well, why don't voters think it is? And I think that's starting to change. There are basically two reasons. So one thing you got to realize is simple partisanship. Republicans will never give a Democrat credit for a good economy.
Absolutely. Like I said, Republicans will never give a Democrat any credit, nor will you switch sides for your reasoning for why you support these clowns in the first place. You're not going to switch to be a Joe Biden supporter, even though you say, well, I support Trump because the economy. Well, we're showing you true, real numbers, and you don't believe these numbers, you can go look them on your own and get your own numbers. Do that, since you're not, since you're aware and all this other stuff, and you whatever, right? Go get your own numbers, and you can look at them. Numbers don't lie.
Same thing, vice versa and reverse. It's asymmetric, which is to say Democrats are more willing to give Republicans credit. So here's just one example. And there's a lot of charts that look like this.
Oh, yeah.
Just days after the networks called the 2020 election for Joe Biden, there's a poll asking Democrats and Republicans how they felt about the economy going forward. And suddenly...
And by the way, I'm going to show you the thing. Go look at this video so you can watch it on your own, right? I can't share the screen on this iPad, so that's why I got to do it like this. But booming Biden economy forces GOP to shift focus to new shiny object, and they're going to talk about what they're talking about. And I'm just going to let you know that it's the border. They're shifting their focus to the border, not the economy, because the economy is not a win for them. it's a better economy now than it was under Trump. So they can't talk about that. They have to talk about something else, which is the border and, trying to kick people out of their jobs and all that, and put all these other distractions as opposed to talking about the economy, because a lot of y'all say, well, I support Donald Trump because of the economy. It was the greatest ever. No, it's not true.
In that red line, Republicans feel very pessimistic about the economy. Democrats start to feel better. This is before Joe Biden was even sworn into office. But if you stay with this graph for a second, one thing I want you to notice there, the drop by Republicans is way more than the gain in Democrats. You see that?
That means that when the Republicans realized that Joe Biden won, the drop in enthusiasm was greater than when the rise in Democrats when they found out Joe Biden won. There's two shifts that happen. One, the confidence in the economy drops for Republicans, right? So that's why you get that arrow. I don't know if you can see that. See that? Yeah, a red arrow dropping. That's the Republicans' confidence doing like this. So that means that we're not giving Democrats no type of we're not putting no respect on the Democrats' name at all. That's why the drop is like that. But Democrats being we used to call them nice ass ninjas. Democrats being a nice ass. Oh, I said that. No, I don't want to say that. But Democrats being nice, they want to give them, they want to give them a boost, but not as much as the Republican drop. So
Republicans are way more partisan in their view of the economy than Democrats, even though both sides are pretty partisan.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things going on. There's a chunk of the population that is never going to give pollsters a positive reaction to a Joe Biden or Democratic economy.
Yeah.
But for other folks who might not be very partisan or political, there's just a lag. There is a lag between when the economy starts to improve in the numbers and when people feel it, when they feel more secure. That lag is starting to go away.
Listen, that's true, because the economy, I mean, if you had record unemployment numbers that you haven't seen in 50 years and nobody's feeling it, then there's a lag. There'd be a lag. Majestic Farrell, what's going on with you, man? Let's get you up here. Let's see. If Trump gets back, he's going to finish the business of those thousands of sealed indictments he helped push through before COVID kicked off. Should be interesting. He's not, but he's not. He's not going to win.
We're starting to see people catch up to reality. You can see it in consumer confidence numbers, which are improving. This is a problem for the Republicans because they want the economy to do poorly under Joe Biden. I'm about to ask.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I can't believe I forgot to pay my premium, but I believe they show a clip where Trump is saying he wants the economy to crash because it's gonna make him look good. So they're wanting the economy to do bad so they can appear to come in and correct it. I mean, is that American? I mean, it's America first. America first is, hold on.
So fragile, and the only reason it's for Republicans, because they want the economy to do poorly under Joe Biden.
Tell me this is America first.
We have an economy that's so fragile, and the only reason it's running now is it's running off the fumes of what we did, what the Trump administration. It's just running off the fumes. And when there's a crash, I hope it's going to be during this next 12 months, because I don't want to be Herbert Hoover. The one president, I just don't want to be Herbert Hoover. I mean, he kind of was.
He just said, I want it to crash within the next 12 months. America first, huh? That sounds like Trump first. I want it to crash in the next 12 months. Let me just run this back just in case you didn't catch it. I want this to crash in the next 12 months. Let's run this back.
See it in consumer confidence numbers, which are improving. This is a problem for the Republicans because they want the economy to do poorly under Joe Biden. We have an economy that's so fragile, and the only reason it's running now is it's running off the fumes of what we did, what the Trump administration. It's just running off the fumes. And when there's a crash, I hope it's going to be during this next 12 months, because I don't want to be Herbert Hoover. The one president, I just don't want to be Herbert Hoover. I mean,
he said he doesn't want to be Herbert Hoover. If my memory serves me correct, Herbert Hoover was a one-term president. I think he doesn't want to be that. That's why he wants the economy to crash so he can help his presidency. Does that sound like America first?
It was Herbert Hoover because, again, he was president in 2020 when the whole thing crashed, so he's already that. Also, Lindell TV on Jan 6. Beautiful touch there. So Trump hasn't gotten his wish with the stock market, even though he's rooting for it to crash. The stock market is booming. The Dow is setting record highs. The economic recovery is so good that even Fox has to, begrudgingly acknowledge it. Now take a look at this headline in the Washington Post. I'll bring it to you again because it was a kind of a standout. It says, falling inflation and rising growth gives the U.S. the world's best recovery. Steve Ford's with me this morning.
Interesting.
I think the Democrats are going to run with that headline. I mean, they're just going to plaster this all over the place. But are they right?
Yes.
Does America now have the best recovery?
Absolutely.
Well, yes. I'll bet that the next time KJP or the president takes any kind of questions of any kind on the economy, that Washington Post article is going to be right there, front and center. We've got the best recovery. And that's a pretty good political slogan in an election year. Yes, also helped by the fact that it is just plainly the truth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He even said they have to report that. You can't be a news organization and not report numbers. And then you can't make up numbers because you're going to look stupid for making up numbers, because anybody can go look at these numbers. That's why I'm telling you, you don't believe it, go look it for yourself. Anybody can look up these numbers because they're true numbers and it's public.
To the point where Republicans can no longer ignore reality, right? Which is why, instead of denigrating the economy, get this, Donald Trump is now trying to take credit for it on social media.
Yes, he said it's running off the fumes. It's running off the fumes of our administration. Of course he's trying to take credit. Because you're nothing to bash. Oh, that was us. We did that. But then, when Obama was in office and he had the low gas prices, all that, he didn't have nothing to do with that. That wasn't him. That was us. That was all us, because we in office now. Obama, no. But then Trump get out of office, economy better than ever. Oh, that's our fumes. That's our fumes. How is it fumes if they're doing better than what they got? They got 1.5. They bumped it up to 2.4. Out of here, man.
One day to the next, which of course is the Trump playbook. Anything bad that happens isn't his fault. Well, he deserves credit for anything good under his watch.
Yeah.
It's something his press secretary noted when the first full jobs report of the Trump presidency was released.
In the past, the president has referred to particular job reports as phony or totally fiction. Does the president believe that this jobs report was accurate and a fair way to measure the economy?
Yeah, I talked to the president prior to this, and he said, to quote him very clearly, they may have been phony in the past, but it's very real now.
Notice how they laughed? Notice how they laughed? They laughed because it was ridiculous. He was trying to say that the job numbers were phony before because they were probably good, and that when he became president, they continued to be good. But they were phony before, but now they're not phony. Trump is a con man. He's the greatest con man ever walk on 2 feet, man. Crazy.
Very funny. Reality doesn't matter. Nothing matters. It's good when I say it. When I'm in power, it's made up when I'm not, right?
Yes.
That's the whole thing.
Yes.
But this idea that Trump actually deserves credit for the Biden economy is just too ridiculous to reach most people. Honestly, some hardcore partisans are going to be like, yes, it's a Trump stock market or whatever ludicrousness. But that's not going to work for most voters. That is why Republicans are simply trying to.
Because how you in the 4th year of your presidency, this is an election year. You in the 4th year of your presidency, you got 50-year record-setting numbers, and it's somehow Trump's responsible. Get up out of here.
Just change the subject.
Yeah, change the
subject. They love to talk about kitchen table issues and the price of eggs, all that stuff 6 months ago. Now,
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
they are reaching for their political safety blanket, which is called immigration.
Yes.
That makes them feel safe when they're talking about immigration.
Yes.
So right now, they are trying to impeach the Homeland Security Secretary, the first time in 150 years to impeach a sitting cabinet secretary, 170 years, because they, get this, disagree with his immigration policy. They think he's not doing a good job.
Yeah.
And they're doing this in hopes that Americans will pay more attention to immigration than the economy. And it's not a crazy idea. There's some signs that might be working. We got some polling out today that indicates that voters are starting to care more about immigration than the economy. Like,
that's why when you hear people talk, they don't really. I mean, you know, the people that want to hang on and don't really do research and don't stay up to date on what's going on, they hang on to the Trump economy, all that nonsense, right? It might have been good at the time, but Joe Biden blasting that out the water. He blowing all that stuff up. Joe Biden got 2.4. Trump got 1.5.
The economy's fixed. Well, I don't care about that.
Yeah.
But even as Republicans try to get
you don't care about it because it's bad news. Good news is bad news. You said we should have got some of that Ukraine money. Absolutely, I totally agree. I could use some of that right now. Pay my premium.
It's just a shiny object. It's crucial for Democrats and also for just fair-minded journalists and reporters everywhere not to lose sight of the facts. Again, setting aside politics and ideology, just based on the metrics we have. We have a lot of numbers about the economy. It's the thing we measure basically more than anything.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
President Biden has done the best job digging the economy out of a deep hole that we have seen since FDR.
Yeah. So, I had a few conversations today with people that said, I'm not voting for Joe Biden because the economy is terrible. Okay, well, explain all these numbers then. Explain the 50-year record of a 4% or below unemployment. Explain that. Explain that. In 50 years, ain't been that in 50 years. 2 years of 4% or lower in 50 years. Explain that. I'll wait. So what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen is you're gonna come up with something else. Oh, he's a hair sniffer or whatever he said. Yeah, he did that. He absolutely did that. I'm not a fan of Joe Biden. So a lot of time when you get to squirming and you don't know how to respond and all that because your arguments are ridiculous. Well, you support that's your God. No. I call balls and strikes. I'm not a fan of Joe Biden. I mean, there's a lot of stuff he did and said in the past. One of them being the crime bill. And the other one said that if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. How in the hell are you gonna determine that? My ethnicity by the way that I vote. I don't appreciate that, right? So listen, if you can't conduct yourself, and it was other things that he did too. On top of that, like he was yelling, like he was on a conference call. He started yelling, and I did this and I did that, like trying to put people in their place. I don't appreciate that, and I don't forget that, right? So I'm not saying that I'm a Biden supporter by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not a fan, but I'm gonna tell you like this: I'm less of a fan of Donald Trump because of the ultimate like constant nonsense. Both it's good people on both sides with the tiki torches and all that, and then you're lying. Then you grab and win by the coochie. I don't respect you for that. You're paying porn stars. I don't respect you for that. You got so much stuff going on in terms of integrity. Because listen, you gotta have some type of integrity to get my support. Listen, I talk about Gavin Newsom, right? I probably would support him. Is he perfect? No. Did he do some? Did he tell everybody that they shouldn't have like group parties and all that during the pandemic, and that he wouldn't have a group party? Yeah, he did that. But I mean, did he endanger people's lives? Yeah, he probably did that too. But at the same time, that's not as bad as grabbing a woman by the coochie. I'm sorry. It's not as bad as paying a porn star. because you could pay a porn star. I just don't respect you if you pay a woman transactionally for some coochie. I just can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I couldn't do it if I wanted to do it. If I wanted to do it, I couldn't do it. So there you go. Leave your comments. It's gonna be it's gonna be some shorts being made from this. Leave your comments. Please explain how you're not gonna be a Joe Biden supporter, even though you claim to support Donald Trump for the economy, but now that you've found out that Joe Biden's economy is better, explain how you're not a Joe Biden fan now. Because I know you're not. I know you're not. Because that explanation is all bull jive, as our old friend Shannon Sharper say. It's all bull jive. Or who says bull jive? Is it Shannon Sharper? I don't know. Who cares? But anyway, all that's bull jive, right? No, that's Deion Sanders says bull jive, right? Anyway, explain that. How you're not gonna be, you're not gonna give Joe Biden the same explanation for support as you did Donald Trump, because everybody knows that's what you say, but you supporting him for a different reason. But that's the politically correct reason for those people who use it. Some people just don't care, right? But you got people who are worried about all that stuff and will say, well, I only support Donald Trump because they know about all the other stuff. Well, I support Donald Trump because he gave us a good economy. Okay, well then you should support Joe Biden because he's giving us a good economy. Oh, but no, I don't like this. Okay. Well, then I don't know why you use that. I don't know why you use the excuse for supporting Donald Trump then. But anyway, like, subscribe, become a member. Hood Trucker fan. We try to reach out every day. Sometimes we don't get to it. I mean, last couple of days, this car I've been in, it's giving me the blues, because I gotta get in California, you gotta get a small certificate and all that, and it's an older car, it's the Hood Trucker mobile, and it's giving me the blues. Right? So that's what the phone call to. It was a mechanic, and I gotta do some things. So till next time, this is the Hood Trucker News, and I am the Hood Trucker, and we're gonna talk again, and we're gonna talk in them comments too. Because look, when you hit me with a comment, I try my darndest to respond. So if I don't respond, I'm busy, I'm driving, something going on, whatever. If I don't respond right away, whatever, I'll get to it when I get to it. If I miss it, I just miss it. But hit me a couple of times, I'm gonna catch. If you hit me 3 times, I'm gonna catch 1. So don't be afraid. We conversate over here too. So keep that in mind. But till next time, I'm the Hood Trucker for the Hood Trucker News.